It was time to start looking at Allegra's Sprayhood and Stack Pack. Both of these we believe are the original, so they've been on the boat for some 14 or 15 years now. Although the framework for the Sprayhood was in good condition, the canvas work was starting to show some signs of wear along the top. We were lucky enough to be able to reuse all the framework, and we spoke to CJ Marine, who manufactured the original Sprayhood, and they made us a new Sprayhood using the same framework. The Sprayhood attaches to the boat with 3 plastic pieces of trim, one left, one right and a long piece in the middle. The piece in the middle has been replaced at some point and is like new, but the 2 outers have cracked and are showing signs of wear and tear, so we decided to replace those. It's a case of just unscrewing them, cleaning the area, which we did with a little bit of polish, and then reseating and resealing the new pieces. At this point we started to undo all the framework to slide it into the Sprayhood, because that's how our old one was made. However, when we actually got the new Sprayhood out of the bag, we realised that they now use zips. So it's just a case of unzipping the outer pockets and actually zipping it back onto the frame. The sides of the Sprayhood don't have the fastenings pre-done, you have to do these yourself. You're supplied with this small yellow tool which you're supposed to hit with a hammer. We found this incredibly difficult to try and hold that piece while you hit it with a hammer or a mallet, so we used a clamp and a piece of wood and used pressure to cut through the material. There's about 3 or 4 layers there, so it's quite a lot of pressure required, but we found this method much easier. Cut away any remaining pieces of material with a Stanley knife and then crimp on the fasteners. This meant that we could use all the original fixings that were already in the boat. We didn't have to drill, move or change anything. So then we moved on to the Stack Pack, again in similar condition to the Sprayhood, starting to show some signs of wear. It wasn't until we removed this that we actually saw how bad this was. It's a case of removing the sail from the boat and any lines that are attaching the Stack Pack to the mast and the boom. Careful not to lose any of those lines up the mast. Here we're removing the sail from the mast. Simply push and then slide out the sail sliders. The front of the sail is now undone. The reefing points need to be removed from the boom. And the sail is removed. Here you can see us tying any lines that go up the mast to the mast so that we don't lose them. You can see here that it's in quite poor condition. The battens have ripped out of the bag and the seam and the centre is also ripped. The packs simply slide into this boom. The new battens are taped together. I would wear gloves when handling these battens. We believe they're made from fiberglass and we could feel shards of the fiberglass in our hands for the next day or so. Now it was a case of replacing the lines that go to the spreaders, which hold the Stack Pack in place. We'd got new lines here, so we decided to replace both sides. We stitched the old line to the new line and then pulled that through. And then it's just a case of adjusting everything to make sure the right tension's on the stack pack so that when your sail comes back down, it sits correctly. We left the lines nice and long for a couple of days just to make sure before we cut anything, and we adjusted this a couple of times, but we now believe we've got everything where it should be.